The soldiers of Ukraine's 54th Separate Mechanized Brigade, OMBr, have once again proven their exceptional skill and unyielding determination in a recent battle, where Russian forces launched yet another assault on their defensive positions. In a remarkable display of tactical finesse, the brigade not only thwarted the attack but also inflicted devastating losses on the enemy. A particularly striking moment in this engagement was the destruction of a Russian MTLB armored vehicle, which, despite its crew's preparations and presumed strategic advantage, met its fiery end along with the Russian landing party it carried. This latest victory serves as both a testament to the Ukrainian forces' readiness and adaptability and as another example of the reckless waste of Russian lives in their relentless attempts to storm well-defended Ukrainian positions. The battle also underscores the increasing effectiveness of Ukrainian countermeasures against Russian tactics, turning the tables in a war where each side is constantly adapting to the other's strategies. The Russian assault, a familiar and costly pattern for months. Russian forces have relied heavily on mechanized infantry assaults, particularly employing MTLBs, multi-purpose light armored tractors originally designed for transportation in rough terrain but now repurposed as troop carriers and improvised fighting vehicles. The logic behind using these vehicles in assaults is simple. They are relatively fast, can carry a significant number of troops, and provide some degree of armor protection against small arms fire. However, against prepared Ukrainian defenses, even these once formidable vehicles are becoming vulnerable, as the events of this battle demonstrated. On this occasion, Russian forces appeared confident as they prepared to storm the positions of the 54th OMBr. Believing they had an advantage, they attempted to exploit mined roads that they thought would prevent Ukrainian forces from responding swiftly. The Russians were unaware, however, that the soldiers of the 54th Brigade were not only prepared but had also devised countermeasures to the Russian tactics, counteracting the Russian strategy. A tactical masterclass. The Russian belief that they had effectively mined the surrounding roads and therefore controlled the battlefield's terrain was shattered in the ensuing moments. The 54th OMBr had meticulously studied the Russian patterns of attack and had anticipated the use of these roads for a mechanized assault. Ukrainian forces were ready with a carefully prepared plan to counteract the Russian mine-laying strategy. As the Russian MTLB and its accompanying forces approached, they moved confidently, expecting the Ukrainian forces to be either immobilized or forced into a position of defensive retreat. However, Ukrainian counteractions, likely involving advanced knowledge of the enemy's movements and clever use of drone surveillance, allowed the 54th OMBr to prepare a devastating response. When the MTLB advanced along the mined road, its fate was sealed. Whether due to an explosive placed by the Ukrainian defenders or the sheer weight of fire directed at it, the MTLB exploded twice in quick succession. The violent destruction of the vehicle was catastrophic, ensuring that both the armored vehicle and the Russian soldiers inside it were annihilated. The Russians, thrown into chaos by the sudden destruction of their leading assault vehicle, had little chance to regroup or adjust to the reality of their failed attack. The aftermath, a decisive Ukrainian victory. The destruction of the MTLB and its landing party was a major blow to the Russian forces. Far from the planned breakthrough they had anticipated, the assault quickly turned into another futile loss of life and equipment. The Russian soldiers who followed the MTLB into battle were left without the support they had expected, and many were thrown into disarray, realizing that their presumed strategic advantage had been neutralized. For the soldiers of the 54th OMBr, this victory was yet another chapter in their ongoing defense against Russia's relentless offensives. The brigade, which has become synonymous with resilience and tactical acumen, not only held its ground but also delivered a severe blow to the Russian forces. The double explosion of the MTLB, a symbol of both Russian overconfidence and the tactical superiority of Ukrainian forces, underscores the growing sophistication of Ukraine's defensive strategies. Russian forces, once again, were thrown into the slaughter, a phrase that not only captures the senseless waste of life that has become a hallmark of Russian assaults but also the growing desperation of an enemy that continues to send waves of troops and equipment into well-defended Ukrainian positions, only to face defeat time and again. Strategic implications. Ukraine's evolving defense. The engagement involving the 54th OMBr and the destroyed MTLB carries broader implications for the war in Ukraine. Russian reliance on mechanized assaults, particularly involving lightly armored vehicles like the MTLB, has shown diminishing returns as Ukrainian forces continue to evolve their defensive strategies. The battle reveals how Ukrainian forces have become adept at countering even seemingly well-prepared assaults through a combination of intelligence, flexibility, and coordinated firepower. One of the key elements of this victory was the Ukrainian ability to counteract the presumed advantages of Russian minefields. The fact that the Russians believed they had successfully mined the roads but still lost a key vehicle in such a devastating manner speaks to the depth of Ukrainian preparedness. It suggests that Ukrainian forces may be utilizing sophisticated counter-mining techniques or leveraging superior knowledge of the terrain to nullify Russian attempts to control the battlefield. Through such methods, additionally, the destruction of the MTLB and the Russian landing party highlights the role of Ukrainian artillery and likely drone support in the engagement. As in many recent battles, Ukrainian forces have used drones for real-time surveillance and targeting, giving them an advantage in identifying enemy movements and delivering precision strikes. This technological edge, combined with the high level of training and discipline of Ukrainian forces, has allowed them to punch far above their weight in battles against a numerically and materially superior enemy. The soldiers of the 54th OMBr, unsung heroes of the Ukrainian defense. The men and women of the 54th OMBr have been at the forefront of Ukraine's defense efforts since the earliest days of the war. Known for their discipline, tactical brilliance, and courage under fire, the brigade has earned a reputation for defending key positions along the front lines and repelling some of the most determined Russian assaults. Their ability to consistently outthink and outfight Russian forces is a testament to the training and leadership within the brigade, as well as the willpower of the soldiers who continue to fight for their homeland's freedom. In this latest engagement, the destruction of the Russian MTLB serves as yet another symbol of the brigade's unyielding resolve. For the soldiers of the 54th OMBr, each day of resistance brings new challenges. But their victories continue to inspire the entire Ukrainian nation. Conclusion. Victory in the face of adversity. The battle that saw the destruction of the Russian MTLB by the 54th OMBr is a microcosm of the larger struggle in Ukraine. It showcases the skill, determination, and adaptability of Ukrainian forces in the face of a relentless and often brutal enemy. Despite the Russian forces' confidence in their mine-laying strategy and their belief in the superiority of mechanized assaults, the soldiers of the 54th Brigade once again turned the tide, leaving the battlefield littered with the wreckage of destroyed Russian armor. As the war continues, the 54th OMBr and other Ukrainian units remain steadfast in their defense of Ukraine. With each victory, they not only defend their country but also demonstrate to the world that the strength of a well-prepared, highly motivated, and technologically savvy force can overcome even the most daunting challenges.